chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks. Welcome to ChuggieBets.
So, Matt, would you consider an average defensive catcher who averages less than 10 home runs a year a Hall of Famer?
No. Well,
No.
how
that is Joe Mauer, and he just got in on the first ballot. So he played 15 seasons. He hit 146 home runs. Yes, his batting average was 306. That's fine. He walked a bunch. He had a 380. He's basically Luis Castillo, but since he played catcher, as an average catcher, he got in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't consider him a Hall of Fame at all.
I mean, I don't think you're factoring in like his disability. Like he played really well for a white guy.
That's true.
You know,
he had 5 seasons with a negative defensive WAR.
So he's not even a good defensive.
How many positive WAR seasons?
So 1/3 of his seasons, he was a below replacement player catcher.
Yeah, no, he's not good. I look, he is in the Hall of Good. I don't think he's in the Hall of Very Good. He's just in the Hall of Good. Like, let's compare him. Like, would you put Buster?
No, he had 306 for his career. 306 for your career is very good.
Would you put?
He had 2,123 hits though. Buster Posey probably hits like 20 home runs a year.
What's up?
Buster Posey probably hits like 15 or 20 home runs a year. He's better.
Yeah. Oh no, Buster Posey was also an MVP. Like for a season, won 3 World Series. He's going to be.
Mauer won an MVP too.
Like Billy Sims.
Yeah, Mauer won MVP the year he took steroids and hit 28 home runs.
Whoa, take it easy there, McGuire. That was the cream and clear year for sure. Did you know that he was?
He only hit more than 5 times in his 15-year career, but one of those, and that was a lot of 11s and 10s. 4 of those were 11s and 10s, and a 13 and then a 28. Feels a little juicy.
I bet if you took the last 5 Hall of Fame classes, there are 5 or fewer guys that actually feel like they're Hall of Fame worthy.
It's because they're not letting the steroid guys in. Like Barry Bonds should be first ballot every year. Like he should just be on the ballot and get in.
He should be in his own Hall of Fame by himself.
It's like Bobby Bonilla gets paid every year. Barry Bonds gets elected to the Hall of Fame every year. It's Barry Bonds Day.
Barry Bonds, there was a season where he would have led the league in OPS if you took away all of his hits just took them all away, and you just had his walks, and he would have led the league in OPS.
I love when Barry Bonds was a hitting coach, and he's just like, why aren't you guys good at hitting? It's like, that's not constructive, Barry. That's not how it works.
You guys can't see the spin on the ball before he throws it?
They should make a Hall of Hitters, and it should be like Barry Bonds and Tony Gwynn.
I was just thinking Tony Gwynn when you said Hall of Hitters.
Like
Dude can hit. Ricky Henderson.
Dudes that are like preternaturally disposed to like excellent contact hitters.
But speaking of Hall of Fame, I don't think Todd Helton's good enough. I like Adrian.
No, Todd Helton has like 5,000 hits. Let me look up Todd Helton's stats.
These are all just dudes.
They are. Adrian Beltre had a really
I
good
recognize the name. That is it. Like,
yeah. Here's a fun fact.
Todd Helton, you're right. His career batting average was 316. He hit 369 home runs though. That's pretty good for a 316 hitter. Career OPS was around 1,000. 950. So that's pretty good.
I think a good way to do is like look at their career stat average like that, and then compare it to last year's players, and be like, where would he have ranked last year with his career numbers? Would he have been top 20? You know?
No.
And when the answer is no,
I feel like being top 20 for 20 seasons gets you in the Hall of Fame easily. If you average a top 20 player at your position, but if you do it for 20 seasons.
Well, can I give you some Adrian Beltre stats? That guy has hit 3,000 hits, 3,166 hits. Check mark. 477 home runs, Not quite the 500 mark, but I'm giving him check mark there. Good third baseman, quality enough defensive third baseman. He feels like a Hall of Famer. The rest of them, nah.
No,
Hard
excellent
pass on
defensive
Helton.
third baseman. He has gold gloves.
Yeah, I know he was a good player.
I would
He
not
is a
have
Hall of
passed on
Famer.
Helton. I think Todd Helton is. We are like completely off.
I mean, if he
here
was that
on
good of
on
a
this
fielder with a
audio.
glove made of metal, like that's really impressive.
I don't even know
The
what
thing
you're doing.
again, going against Adrian Beltre, is he played for 4 teams. Like what
Yeah,
what
that's-
uniform
you're
do you see Adrian
that?
Beltre in?
I think of him as a Mariner, oddly, or a Ranger. One of
Ranger.
those two.
Ranger.
Ranger was the end of his career, and he hit a lot of home runs with the Rangers.
Dude can mash.
But no, he was a Dodger.
As
He
someone who
was a
hates that-
Dodger for the longest
I
time.
don't think he was a Dodger. Weirdly.
Dodger.
Fun fact about Joe Mauer: he was going to be the #1 quarterback taken out of college, out of high school to go into college, but he decided to be a pro baseball player. It paid off. He's a Hall of Famer. He was going to go to Florida State.
He made a
Under
couple hundred
Bob-
million.
It's probably a smart move for your boy. Well, welcome to ChuggieBets. I got Danny to the side of me, Al way over there. I'm Matt. We're going to go through, I guess I'm Al as well, according to my name tag for some reason. But we're going to go through all the championship games, the 2 big ones. We're going to go through some football stats, and we're going to give you some real solid bets. So let's drink some beer, boys.
Cheers.
Let's whip around some big stories in the NFL. I don't know if you saw the Chargers got their guy, and he's dressed in khaki. Jim Harbaugh is the new head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, that's done deal now.
Done deal.
I have a proposition for you guys. I want you guys to consider these 2 options. Which would you find more entertaining? Jim Harbaugh becomes like fully LA, like wear like 5-inch inseam on like loud shorts, like button down, like a short sleeve button down shirt that's like unbuttoned to his belly button, like totally like
What
assimilating.
LA is he talking about?
Or like
Louisiana.
I'm still Jim Harbaugh. I'm still on East Coast time, even though I've been in LA for a year or 5 years.
Starched khakis remain. His starched khakis will stay with him forever.
You think?
Oh yeah, it's now more acceptable for him to eat his cheeseburgers in the morning. It's like lunchtime on the East Coast.
Yeah,
True. It's true. I hope he has the rebirth, right? I hope he has he's like a
rebirth?
caterpillar.
He just won a national championship. He's not changing shit.
No, I want him to become an LA butterfly, right? I want you to
Yeah.
slowly see the khakis fade away and the shorts get a little bit shorter. You see him wearing a pair of like J's or some decent shoe. You start seeing nice watches. My dream, this is my dream, that he becomes a spokesperson for like an alternative milk. Because think about it. Jim Harbaugh has been a big fan of whole milk, and he talks about how it has made him stronger. It's made him love football. If he starts becoming like the oat milk guy, we know it's been complete.
Almonds are big in California, so almond milk, right? Isn't California like the biggest almond producer in the world?
I think almond milk is cruel. I think it's cruel. I think they're oat milk people now.
I think that's definitely something Jim Harbaugh would have his heart hugged against that. I'm with you. For my sake, I hope he leans in the West Coast personality, because I fucking can't stand his whole shtick. He's a little prick, and I don't like him.
No, I like Jim Harbaugh.
His brother's. I'm a John Harbaugh guy. Get Jim Harbaugh out of it.
If you had to mess with one Harbaugh, I'd rather hang out with Jack Harbaugh, his dad, the old coach at Western Kentucky.
He's for sure racist, right?
Jack Harbaugh, he sounds it, right?
Like they're for sure their dad's like super racist. They gotta be.
I don't think John or Jim are, but Jack may have some racial undertones. But this
You
is
know,
just saying, if our parents didn't make
religious,
it through, he's even older.
Wrong to not have a racist dad who grew up in like the 50s, you know?
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah,
what?
with Jerry Jones.
Racism has been passed down amongst white Americans our entire life, our entire existence. So I would imagine that Jack Harbaugh may have like crossed the street if he saw a black guy on his side of the street. And just
may have posed in some unsavory pictures.
he may have celebrated when white receivers make catches.
I hope Jack Harbaugh was like one of the
Might have been
leaders
the
of the
villain.
civil rights movement. I hope we're so wrong and that this all blows up in our face. He was like the king of the civil rights movement in whatever state he's from.
He was like punching Jerry Jones in the face in that picture.
Yeah.
So, the comedian Shane Gillis.
Yes,
He
I
doesn't
love Shane Gillis.
remember the Titans, and he's like, it sounds really sweet, but then you realize like these are like the last people to like assimilate and like accept black people. It's like we've been doing it for like 20 years, and these guys are like, no. Like,
He does a good one about Alabama and Bear Bryant on that too, where he's like, no, they integrated, and everybody was like, congratulations, Bear. And then you realize it's 1971. Like, we had been to the moon and back. We had
Like
put men on the moon before black guys played quarterback for Alabama. I'm just doing his spiel, but yeah.
Anyway, it's very fun.
Well,
It's not as good as Uncle Danny. It's not as good as his Uncle Danny bit. That's my favorite bit he does. But let's move on.
I'm so excited for Jim Harbaugh. I hope we see him on a reality TV show. That's what I want. I want him like, I think he's married, but I'd love him on The Bachelor. And I think he would actually be a good bachelor. He's pretty handsome, pretty ripped up. I think he could kill it. I
want to see him on the Kardashians.
Oh, that would be better. That's better.
Like college football coaches as like contestants on The Bachelorette would be much more fun than NFL coaches, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they usually have like a shtick or a gimmick because it's like the recruiting side of them. They do like dumb shit. They have like their like spiel that everyone knows.
Like once Nick
I would love to
Saban's
see
wife
them
dies, they're going to
recruiting.
put him on The Bachelor.
I actually would love to see like 10 college coaches and only 5 women. This sounds very predatory the more I say this. They're all trying to recruit a wife, and I'd love to see them go head to head in recruiting battles, like for.
I feel like Ed O would be the perfect guy on The Bachelor.
Ed
On
O
The
is,
Bachelor, yes. As a contestant on The Bachelorette,
No. As The Bachelor, where people are competing for his
affection.
oh God, Ed O, The Bachelor of Louisiana. I would love that. I would love that. That would bring me so much joy.
You could put Ed Ordry in literally any TV program, and I would watch it. Like, are we talking Deadliest Catch? Are we talking like Dateline? Are we talking?
I don't want to see him on Dateline. I got
hosting Dateline.
I could see that.
That'd be crazy.
RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm in.
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. I love all of these. Oh man, I hope Ed O, if he gets in Celebrity Jeopardy, I want him to win. I'm rooting for him. I know everyone, like the judges are like, "What the fuck did he just say?"
Yeah, the judges have to understand what he said. They're not going to know if he answered in the form of a question or not because everything sounds like a question that he says.
Coach O doing the fastest 2 minutes in sports, like
him and Chris Berman, rumbling thug. They just like do that voice back and forth to each other. They're just talking.
keeps getting like raspier and deeper. less
Raiders. They're both just saying that back and forth. That's just 2 minutes of them.
The Raiders.
A little bit more coaching news. Raheem Morris is back in the NFC South. I don't know if you guys have realized Sunshine was supposed to be here today. He was banking on Bill Belichick, and when they announced the Raheem Morris news, he decided not to join the program, and I don't blame him.
Can't blame him.
I can't blame him at all. I have no thoughts on it. I'm happy for Raheem Morris. I'm kind of sad. Chris put it perfectly when he said Falcons gonna Falcons, and that feels like Falcons gonna Falcons.
Well,
I don't know. He was their interim coach 3 or 4 years ago, right? And as a Dolphins fan who let an interim coach get away in Dan Campbell, I guess I can appreciate them coming back and trying it again.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
I think like no one's gonna hire Bill Belichick. He wants too much. He wants too much control and shit, and I don't think anyone is interested in that whole rigmarole.
So do you think that's what it is?
I disagree that nobody's gonna hire Bill Belichick.
There's only 2 openings left.
Yeah, I saw. I saw the Panthers may be locked up by offensive coordinator too. So I was wondering why someone wouldn't roll the dice in Belichick. I don't know if he's like baiting and switching people or he's doing something because it seems like if you get a chance to get Bill Belichick, you probably should try.
I think he wants to take a year off.
Well, I think it's because he's 71. It's because he wants to bring in a bunch of his own guys, and he probably
that's why the Falcons didn't go with him. I heard
being head coach, and you put all that together, and it's like you're committing your whole franchise to like you're handing it all over to Bill Belichick, and it's like
so essentially front offices are out there interviewing Bill Belichick, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to bring in my own front office." So I can kind of understand.
I get that. we got a dick vision.
Danny checked Mrs. location.
Plugged into the Sorry, guys, I'm back.
All right, you're very quiet, buddy. I don't know if that mic's working as well.
It's okay.
I'm doing everything I can.
Let's talk about results from last week. Why don't we? I mean, I really don't want to. There is some good news here. Andy went 3-1. That's good. Al went 3-2. That's good. Sunshine and I did not do well.
Hey,
to bring us down to a collective.
I was in third place this week.
You were. You didn't lose money, that's for sure.
I went 0-0.
0-0. We went 7-10 as a collective. We are not doing well in the playoffs so far this year.
Speak for yourself. I'm one game over 500.
You are crushing it, Dano. Sorry, that was my fault. I will let Al give out a Chuggie because he is the best performing winner of the week. Sure.
Okay, sure.
Let's go into everyone's favorite segment that we do here on ChuggieBets, Athlete of the Week. This highlights athletes that athleted the best. Whenever you see superior athletes being superior athletes, that's what we like to do here. I'm going to start with Al because Danny seems confused with his microphone. So, Al, who was your athlete of the week?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Caitlin Clark.
Good athlete.
She put up, 40 plus in a losing effort. Got the court stormed against her and, had a pretty impressive flop when she ran into some broad that ran out on the court a little premature.
That would have been a technical foul given to Caitlin Clark for sure.
Like she'd be shooting too, for sure.
The other team would be shooting too. The court rusher for Caitlin Clark being the superior athlete with great balance, that's embarrassing. Unless that girl is like a wrestler on like the Ohio State side, there's no need for that. You got to be tougher than that.
I feel like it was like I want to push this person because I'm pissed, but I gotta sell it like I'm not doing it on purpose, and that's really what I think happened. She like pushed her, and I was like, "Oh!"
Quit blaspheming against the greatest athlete of our time. Caitlin Clark did not flop. She did not do anything wrong there. It was just an accident on both sides.
I mean, I'm not accusing her of doing something wrong. That's my read of the
She certainly didn't go to push a fan, as Al is alleging. That is crap. Don't say those things about Caitlin Clark. She scored 40 points in that effort. She gave it her all.
Speaking of 40-point efforts.
She's great. Yeah, let's talk. Danny, who was your athlete of the week?
Well, I got to go with Kelsey. He had a fantastic game. His brother scored twice in that game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and he was definitely celebrating those touchdowns. The thing that I loved best about Jason Kelsey was not him very easily hopping in and out of that suite. It was It was not the fact that he was like cheering on his brother as if he was a drunk idiot. He did come out and say that he had 20 beers and he was only at a five drunk. But it was the fact that there's a picture of him, arms spread, shirtless like this, but the beer in his hand looks like it only fits between 3 of his fingers. It's like it looks like he's drinking 6-ounce beers, but I know that's a regular full 12-ounce beer.
Yeah,
they don't serve 6-ounce beers in NFL stadiums.
It's such an alpha move to be drinking beers that look like small beers, shirtless in 10 degrees weather, and keeping the window open so you know Taylor Swift is freezing behind you, but you don't care because you're shirtless and entertaining the crowd.
Two things that make him athlete of the week. The first is as soon as he walked in that door and he saw that the window, he could hop right out onto the stairs. He turned to his wife and said, "I'm going to take my shirt off and I'm going to jump out of that window." And his wife goes, "Don't you dare!" And he goes, "I wasn't asking permission. I'm just going to do it." He said this all on his podcast. It was hilarious. Number two, the second thing that he did that makes him number one athlete of the week that none of you guys are going to beat is he found a little girl in the stands that had a Taylor Swift poster and he brought her all the way up to meet Taylor. And that, come on. What did any athlete do this week that was better than that?
No.
They seem like really well. Jason especially seems like really down to earth dude. Travis seems pretty cool too. As someone who seems to have his whole branding be that he is one of the, he's a common man among the hoi polloi. It's a little highfalutin going out there with his neatly manicured body hair. I was a little disappointed that we didn't have more curly keys going on the chest pubes.
You think
he trimmed it?
Yeah.
Sometimes you
groom shaming, huh?
I'm just saying, just personally, I was like, oh, he's one of those guys.
Well, you don't get to be the sexiest man alive by not paying attention to your body.
That's true.
I can attest to that.
I will say, for a lineman, he is not the classic muscular build, but he looks great. I think he's incredibly in great shape, right? I don't need a guy. If I were to be banging dudes, Jason Kelce would be my type for sure.
That window ledge was chest high, and he just straight up
leaped straight in.
One single fell swoop just cleared it.
Jumped a fence like I used to when I was 9.
Yeah.
He didn't even have the little chain links to stick his feet in either. He just went straight over it.
Yeah.
When you're jumping the fence, you were getting a baseball from someone else's yard, right?
Every time. Sandlot style.
Classic.
Oh, I thought we were talking about running away from high school parties.
Oh no.
No.
When I was 9?
yeah. Well, you didn't go to high school parties when you were 9?
Yeah, I did actually. I did. I had the same beard when I was 9, and they let me in all the high school parties.
Manicured chest hairs and all. My athlete of the week is Kayshon Boutte. He was a wide receiver at LSU. He's currently a wide receiver on the Patriots. But between April 6, 2022 and May 7, 2023, while he was a college student at LSU, he is believed to have placed 8,900 bets on football at least 17 that were involving college football games. And 6 of those involved LSU, the team he was on. One of the most memorable is when he bet a parlay on himself of over 83 yards and 1 touchdown against Florida State, which sadly he did not hit. But
that's 8,000 bets over 700 some days. So that's 12 bets a day.
Yeah, your boy
was
going
to jail because he was underage while he was doing it. So I don't know if the time.
Because he was underage or because it was insider
underage.
Shit?
No, nobody cares. You don't go to jail for betting on NCAA football. You just get banned.
I'll be curious to see when he was 20. Oh, you have to be 21 in Louisiana to sports bet. I did not know that. Oh. He is currently 21 years old, so he was clearly under 21 at that time. So either way, 8,900 bets. He had deposited $130,000 in his college betting account, his sports betting account. It is good to get NIL money, baby. And I just love it. He is such a ChuggieBets athlete. That guy just placing bets on himself. There's no proof. They were saying, how did they figure out it was Kayshon Boutte? Every username was Kayshon Boutte 1 or Kayshon Boutte 001. He always used his name just straight up. Which I don't know if that makes it sketchier or it just makes him be like, oh, you don't care. You're silly, Kate. I love this story. Let's, in our normal fashion, when a team gets eliminated from the playoffs, we do a compliment sandwich. There were 4 teams eliminated from the playoffs this week. From the season, we lost Green Bay, we lost Houston, we lost Buffalo, we lost Tampa Bay. Al, would you like to prepare a sandwich for one of those teams?
Yeah, sure. I'll go with Tampa to start. So, Tampa, I feel like among cities in Florida. Tampa kind of, many cities in Florida outside of Miami really get shit on. Even Miami gets shit on sometimes. But Tampa's really pretty nice. They've really done a good job building that city back up. It's pretty nice. It's pleasant to visit. They've got things to do in the community. And their sports teams are pretty good.
Great fishing out in Tampa.
Yeah, their football team is shit because the Lions put it to them, so fuck you. And Baker Mayfield seems like a real really nice dude.
To Tampa Bay, to the Bucs.
To the Bucs.
Good game. Mike Evans had the most confusing game of all time, where he was awesome and terrible, at the same time. He was Schrodinger's wide receiver. I didn't know what to make, if he was just on fire or dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he was what he is for his career. Really, really awesome, but there's limitations to his game, which is mostly drops.
But he's really good. It's really weird to say that his limitations, because he's so good, but you're right. He's a puzzling player.
Terrell Owens had a lot of drops too, so I mean, he wasn't that good for his career, but he's still been fantastic.
Danny, pick Green Bay, Houston, or Buffalo.
I'll do Houston. Houston, you have fantastic flood insurance. It's cheap, and you just keep replacing all those houses that keep getting flooded. That is awesome. We all appreciate you flood insurance in Houston.
Got to build it back.
As far as a constructive thing to say, I think that you need more weapons on offense. I know that you have some young guys who are coming up, but you need more to surround your young quarterback with. And is the last thing. You got CJ Stroud. That's the best thing in your city. And you have unlimited oil, and CJ Stroud is still the best thing in your city.
My Jags fan friends are so pissed about CJ Stroud.
They should be.
They thought they had smooth sailing to decades of AFC South success, and then CJ Stroud just shit all over it.
Now you don't even have the best quarterback in the division. Somebody said that early this season.
It's a tough call to how do you rank the quarterbacks in that division?
Well, CJ Stroud and then everybody else.
Trevor Lawrence, Will Levis, and
AR
Richardson, who looked good when he was healthy.
I think he did the right order. Maybe Richardson above Levis, but
yeah.
Yep. To Houston, to the Texans. I'll take Green Bay. As far as the Wisconsin economy, their housing market is booming. It's really growing week over week, month over month. They're building new parks and new facilities. The infrastructure is fantastic. Green Bay. I don't really have anything negative to say about the Packers. They're kind of going in the right direction.
I got something negative. Green Bay, your owner sucks. Your owner is an asshole.
Yep. We hate the owners. Everyone who lives there sucks. Look, your team's going to be good. They look really good. I was impressed with Jordan Love. Is that it? I didn't feel good about Jordan Love. I had Kevin Love in my head.
No, it's Jordan Love.
It's Jordan Love.
Okay, good.
You're asking, is that it? Is that
I understand why you have Kevin Love in your head, though. That is a snack right there.
Zaddy.
You know what's so funny, Matt, is that Buffalo was right there. Buffalo actually has an incredibly hot housing market right now. You chose Green Bay to do the bid on. I really commend you.
Yeah, hell yeah, I did. I think the Packers are going to be good. They've done it again. It seems like they found another quarterback. They followed the formula where you take a quarterback, stash him for 3 years, let him play for 15 years, and then trade him to the Jets. It is a proven formula that works time and time again. So you can expect
literally time and time again.
Jordan Love
just time and
literally time and time.
It happened once and then it happened again.
But it's gonna happen again.
Jordan Love will be the quarterback of the Jets in 2036. Mark it down.
But he'll tear his Achilles.
To the Packers. And
or
then
send a dick pic to a reporter. One or the other.
Hopefully neither.
We're right about due for that for Rodgers.
Oh, it is dick pic year. This is dick pic year. So dick pic year, then he's got to go to Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Am I doing that in the right direction? Okay. So you'll see Aaron Rodgers in the NFC North
I
again.
mean, Kirk Cousins is about done in Minnesota, so that actually makes sense. Send a dick pic and then go out to the wilderness.
If this timeline plays out, and then you defraud the state of Mississippi, that's the final. That's the coup de grace. Buffalo. You guys want to all say something bad and good about Buffalo? Buffalo. Al said they have a great housing economy market. I'm using the bad term now. That they're really booming. They have a great rap group called Griselda from Buffalo. Awesome. You should check them out. If you guys haven't heard Griselda before, really, really good.
Personally, I'm a fan of the Bills Mafia, the jumping through the tables and the chugging out of bowling balls and the whatnot. It's a fun.
It seems fun. It seems fun. To say something bad about Buffalo is that you're in New York.
Yeah.
Part of New York, though.
New York sucks, all of it. Your pizza's
to
not
say
even
something
good.
bad about Buffalo, your city only exists for the Bills. Like there's nothing else that people ever give a shit about. Like,
isn't there a
you-
bridge to Toronto? Isn't there a bridge to Toronto or Montreal there? One or the other.
It's true. I think Toronto is close. Niagara Falls, get the hell out of here. How many times can you see that waterfall? Like, you think people move there to go be close to a waterfall?
Yeah.
You know that Bill's Mafia just comes from the people going over the waterfall in a barrel, right? Those people just all grew up to become they bred, and then all their offspring became Bills fans.
That's how they know you're good for tables.
Going over balls in a fucking barrel. That shit is insane.
I hate the ketchup guy. The guy who pours
Bill's
condom on
Mafia.
himself.
Bill's Mafia. Yeah. Bill's
Real
Mafia
look
is
at
who
me,
goes over.
Louis. Real looking,
Yeah.
wanting all the attention on himself. The fucking ketchup mustard guy. It's like, come on, buddy. That's not even entertaining. You're just fucking weird. You have a weird condiment fetish. Like, don't pass that shit on me. That's not a party trick. That's just you being a creep. I don't like that guy. Sorry. I don't know what we're doing. And Josh Allen's really good.
Yeah. Well, Peyton Manning's really good, is what you meant to say.
That's what I'm saying. He's got that Peyton Manning vibe to him. I do want to talk about that game really quick before we go into our next picks. Buffalo has been ardent that they do not want a roof on their stadium, that they need to be outside. That is what Buffalo is. It is cold weather, bad games. My question for you is, does that field goal go in if there's a roof on the stadium?
Yeah. I think the wind took it. So, yeah.
Or he would have just shanked it the other way or something because he wasn't playing the wind properly. I mean,
I'm just saying, maybe if you had a roof, maybe we're still playing some football. And maybe
if they had a roof, we wouldn't have to watch that game on Monday afternoon.
Let's just be honest here. He makes that field goal, they still 100% lose that game. They were kicking that field goal to tie with just under 2 minutes to go to give the Chiefs the ball back, who were going to very clearly go down the field, milk the clock.
We've seen this play out a million times. Tom Brady always comes back and beats Peyton Manning in that spot.
The second Josh Allen threw that weird donkey pass to the guy on the post.
He missed the touchdown. Yeah, when he missed the touchdown.
10 yards short instead of wide open on the crosser right in front of him on, I think it was second down, and he missed that. And I was like, oh, they're losing this game because third down he did something stupid, and then they settled for a field goal on fourth down. It's like Sean McDermott's a bad coach.
I don't know if Sean McDermott's a bad coach. I know that replacing Ken Dorsey as offensive coordinator made me sad, but it seemed to have worked because Josh Allen stopped turning the ball over after Ken Dorsey left, or at least stopped turning it over as much.
So you think the offensive coordinator is very good at controlling whether the quarterback makes dumb throws?
No, I don't. I don't think you can stop Josh Allen from making dumb throws. I don't think you can stop him from making bad throws either because he will do that a lot. I mean, I remember the Dolphins game last year where he had the wide open guy in the end zone and he just like short hopped it like he was trying to hit a cutoff man on the way. It was ridiculous. Like he's a great quarterback. He's the second best quarterback in the NFL. He's Peyton Manning. He might get one Super Bowl under his own doing, and then another if he leaves and goes and joins a great defense. But he's never going to pass Brady. He's never going to pass Mahomes.
Okay, so if we're doing this comparison where Mahomes is Brady and Josh Allen is Peyton Manning, then who's Lamar?
Jim Kelly?
Lamar, Eli Manning?
I have no comparison for Lamar because
Michael Vick. He's Michael Vick without the dog fighting scandal
That's
because he would have won a
the
Super
same
Bowl.
time frame. That's not the same time frame.
it seems
It is
lazy.
absolutely the same time frame. Michael Vick was drafted in 99. Peyton Manning was drafted in 98, right? Check my numbers there.
I think 2001 for Vic. I think he played in the 2000 national championship game.
Okay.
I know
So
that.
he was 4 years behind. I'm sorry.
I know that one. Yeah. I think you're right about Josh Allen. He does make weird plays. The offensive coordinator tried to what's his name? The guy from LSU. Brady.
Yeah.
He tried to control Josh Allen's turnovers by throwing everything behind the line of scrimmage and not letting him get out of control. And it worked for 8 straight games. Ever since McDermott praised Al Qaeda, they were on a roll. So I don't know if that's the Al Qaeda strategy to football, but it looked to be very effective for Josh Allen not turning the ball over. And
he didn't even praise Allah. He went just straight to Al Qaeda, the evilest part of that religion.
Not the Islam religion, just the terrorist sects.
Well, they did work really well together, Matt. They worked really well together to kill themselves and lots of us. 2
peas in a pod. I think that's all I got. You guys want to pick some games? I don't even see any picks on here, so this is going to be a fun game we're playing today. We got the Chiefs in the Ravens. I think the current spread is Ravens as a 4-point favorite. I am super intrigued by this game. I'm more intrigued by this game than the later one. I love both, right? But this is just is Mahomes going to Mahomes? Or are we going to finally see Lamar Jackson step up? Right? I don't know.
You currently get 3.5. You can lay 3.5 at -115 if you're going to bet MGM.
Got it. So, do you guys have any picks or leans on this game?
I'm definitely taking the Chiefs on the money line. You know how I love a conspiracy theory, and the NFL wants Taylor in this game. So,
yeah, I was gonna say everything I'm seeing, whether it's like sharps or squares or whoever, everyone is on Chiefs here. I think that is a really dumb idea. I think the Ravens have an exceptional defense, and everyone is just totally forgetting about that. So yeah, I'll lay 3.5 with the Ravens. That's my play. Just made it right now.
Ravens laying the 3.5. I kind of like it, right? If we're doing conspiracy stuff, you know how the logo works, right? Have you seen this conspiracy? The Super Bowl logo always has the teams that are playing in it, colors around it. It's purple and red, boys. There's no purple on the other side that I'm aware of. Not Honolulu blue.
Well, red and blue make purple.
Oh, all right. So Chiefs Lions, you're saying.
I don't know.
And then the Chiefs win because there's red as well. Honolulu blue and red. Is that the right color, the Lions color? I felt very proud saying that.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm definitely doing the Chiefs on the money line. I found it at +165 on the Hard Rock app, which is legal to bet here in Florida. So that bet is made at 2 units on that. You can do that for me on the in the spreadsheet. I'm gonna get 5 out of that once I win 5.1 units.
Yeah, if we're talking money line bets, the Chiefs consideration. I'm not gonna lay whatever. What's Baltimore on the money line? -250 or something?
-210. I'm seeing
-200 on Hard Rock right now.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the over here? It's at 44.5, and I understand that both teams do have a good defense, but I don't see. I kind of want to lean the over. I don't know what the weather.
It gets windy in Baltimore, at least for baseball. I think they're not in a dome for football either. They play outside, so it does get windy in Baltimore in the winter.
You want a hot take?
Yeah.
Chiefs shut out.
Chiefs get shut out. I mean, Jason Kelsey's going to score a touchdown before they get shut out.
I mean, that's as spicy a take as I got.
That is a spicy take.
But I wonder, what's like the Chiefs alt under, like team total under, like how low can you put that? I'd consider betting that.
So it looks like the Chiefs are expected, if the spread is 44.5, right? The Chiefs are like 18.5. No. 44.5, 22.
20 and
19.
20 and 24, 20, somewhere around there. So
Yeah.
you think under 20 points, how far would you push it down?
Chiefs team total under 20 as a play for me too on here.
All
And
right.
if it's 20, 20 and a half, whatever it is. But I'm gonna place a little fun bet on this, like not on the sheet here, but whatever the lowest Chiefs team total is that Hard Rock offers, I'll take that. It'll probably be like 15 or 14 or something.
I like that. I like the Chiefs team total under 20 and a half. I think that is an interesting bet. I'm trying to pull up windy.com and they are not giving me what I need for Sunday at 3 p.m. By the way, if you want gambling advice, windy.com is always a good website because they tell you win projections for 7 days in advance. I think I'm going to join. I'm not going to do anything on this game. I will have some fun. I think Andy is going to tease it to Chiefs plus 10 and a half, plus 10.
Plus 10.
Yeah, he's not getting 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Chiefs plus 10. And I think he'll parlay that with whatever is going to happen in the other game. Another incredibly exciting game. Al, tell me your vibe as a Lions fan right now, because I've never got to experience the joy you get to experience right at this moment.
So, this week.
You don't remember the AFC Championship game in 1985, Matt?
I don't. I loved it, though, when I was barely born. Oh, I don't think I was born yet.
Still sucking on your mama's teeth.
Hell yeah, I was.
So this week has been interesting. So I feel like I really wanted them to beat the Bucks because I felt that was a game that was very winnable. At this point now, it's the 49ers, and I've gone from immediate resignation that it's not going to happen, but to see like how this team matches up against the cream of the crop in the league. To at this point now, I kind of think they're going to have a puncher's chance to win the game. And let me tell you why. So the Achilles heel of the 49ers defense is their run defense is ass. And the Lions, as you guys may be aware, are really good at running the ball. So I think if the Lions can run the ball often and successfully, they can control the pace of the game. They are very efficient at scoring. And I think getting in good situations down and distance-wise will open things up in the passing game. Also being able to like run it down San Fran's throat will open things up in the passing game. But it's all really contingent on that. And so there are things that San Francisco can do to essentially slow down the run game, load the box and things like that. That's all. So I think the Lions offense has a good shot this week to keep pace. The other side of the ball is really where it's a total crapshoot. I think you'd be silly not to expect the 49ers to be able to move the ball almost at will. But the Lions defense has been really good on third downs for the past really for like this whole season, but essentially, especially the second half of the season through the
opportunistic defense in general.
Yeah. So this is what I said the other day when I was walking through this game in my head in the spread. If these teams played 5 times right now, I think the 49ers blow the Lions out in one game. I think they cover the 7 in another game. I think the Lions cover the 7 in another game, and the Lions win in another game, and then the game in the middle where it's like right around at the spread. So, to me, it means you'd probably take the points, but there's a significant, possibility that it's just a loser from the jump. So, thank you guys for letting me talk about that for as long as I did.
I'm going on the Lions here. I'm taking the Lions money line. You're getting like almost 3-1 plus 275 on that, and that's just too good a value for a team that honestly you're going against Brock Purdy, who could just easily shit the bed.
I think also what I've seen is almost all of the money and the bets, if you are one who cares about those things, have been coming in on the Lions, which would mean the play would be to lay the 7 with the 49ers. So I think what I'm gonna do, like Danny said, is I'll probably sprinkle something on Lions money line, and just hope that the Lions do their part. I don't know what to do with the total either. I think I'm inclined to take the over, but I don't think I'm gonna have a play. So I guess if I'm gonna put any play down for this game, it's gonna be a little sprinkle on the money line.
I also like St. Brown to over his yards. I think it's around 80.
84.5 or something like that. That's a great bet.
I'm not giving that one out. I'm just going money lines in both of these games, but I'll probably bet that on my own.
Yeah, I probably have a ton of player props I'll bet, but I just know offhand just to start Ayuk yards over, hammer it. Debo targets over, hammer it. McCaffrey, if there's like a touches or carries over, hammer it. Yeah.
So you think they're going to play this game quickly?
Maybe. I mean, I think they're gonna. San Francisco's not gonna have a hard time putting the ball into their best playmakers' hands. I don't think. I think an Ayuk anytime touchdown is like a lock too. You can put that down.
Matto, I would add my picks here, but I don't have edit access to the spreadsheet.
I'm sorry. I was trying to dig through. Daniel, what was your picks again? Will you go for
plus 275 I got on Detroit. 1 unit this time. The Chiefs was 2 units.
And then, Al, I know you were saying you were betting the under. Is that the over? That was your thought?
Yeah, it's not like a play, but I think I probably lean to the over more so than the under. But you can put any or all of those props down if you want to lock those in. I think Ayuk anytime touchdown is for sure. And then I do Ayuk yards over. Debo, what did I say? Debo yards or touches?
You said touches. You said catches, I think.
Yeah. Targets, I said, is what I said. Yeah.
Targets, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little player parlay here. I'm going to take Josh Reynolds over 2.5 receptions and pair that with a Christian McCaffrey touchdown. That should put you right around plus 120, plus 125. The over 2.5 receptions. Look, everyone focuses on so much on St. Brown, and then the running game between Gibbs and Montgomery. That leaves Laporta and Reynolds to clean up the slack. Laporta's at 5.5 receptions. I do think he'll probably get there, but I think he's going to be a major focus area of the defensive game plan for San Francisco.
San Francisco's linebackers are really good in coverage, so that's
exactly. So I'm not going to play the Laporta play like I normally would. I love Sam Laporta. He won me a fantasy league this year. But I will go Josh Reynolds over 2.5 receptions. And I'm not going to say no to Christian McCaffrey scoring a touchdown because it's like the sun rising in the east. It happens.
Yeah.
Pretty much every game. I think he's scored in like 12 games this year, 10 or 12 games or something.
That gets me to about plus 140, I think. And I like that. I like that play a lot. My lean would be on San Francisco here, especially if it stayed at 7, which makes me like the offensive receptions and attempts plays for Detroit more because I think they're going to have to be aggressive and have to play in front. But I don't know. I'm rooting for you, but
I don't think the 49ers getting in matches the script. I feel like the script this year is Lions versus Chiefs, and then I don't know who's going to win that game in the Super Bowl, but I love Lions-Chiefs Super Bowl. I feel like that's going to get a ton of viewers. You get the Taylor Group for Kansas City, and Detroit's a big market who definitely will show up and watch the game, and everybody loves a lovable underdog like Detroit, so you get America on your side.
You know what's funny is you just reminded me because I was like, oh, as opposed to the 2 1 seeds, Baltimore and San Francisco making it. I think I said 2 weeks ago that I would have bet on both of those teams not making the Super Bowl. Won't be the Super Bowl matchup. Won't be Baltimore, San Francisco. So go Ravens, I guess.
I only need one of these bets to hit to make money here. So 2 units on the Chiefs, 1 on the Lions. I only need one of those to hit to make money.
I think we can all agree it's going to be an excellent weekend for NFL football, right? How do you guys feel about the 3 p.m. start?
I love it so
Love
much.
it. Love it. Earlier. I want to do 1 and 4 and then
I do
go to bed at 8.
I want 2 and 5:30.
No,
I know.
I think 3 and 6:30 is perfect. I think it's perfect. The game's over before 10 o'clock.
You get the second half after your kids are asleep. It's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I want it earlier. I want 1 hour earlier. I know that makes it inconvenient for the West Coast church-going crowd, but they're all sinners out there. They don't care about Christ.
I mean, I guess if we're talking about like regular season, when there's a third game on after, then yeah, for sure. The earlier is better. I want football to start at 10 a.m.
Bunch of hybrid driving sinners.
I want like 1 hour to like get my kids put together and get like pants on and have a cup of coffee. I want 1 hour to watch like pregame shit, and then I want football, and I want to be in bed by 10:30.
I don't watch pregame shit at all anymore.
I get in a conundrum with this conversation all the time, right? Because I do think it would be better to be in the Mountain Time Zone a lot, right? Where college football starts at 10, NFL starts at 11. Yeah, keep it moving. Those games are over. The primetime games are done at 9 o'clock. You're like, all right, now we're good to go.
So that's good for Aussie rules football, but for Premier League, you got those early games at 5 a.m.
And if I wanted to watch basketball from the East Coast, I have to run home to catch like the Heat play at 5 o'clock. I'm like, damn, shit's too early. So it's a real conundrum. It's great for your weekends as long as you're not a Premier League fan, because I am not waking up to watch 5:30 Chelsea. I love Chelsea, but 7:30 is right in that window. 10 a.m.
I get up to watch 5:30 Sydney, so of course I'm getting up to watch 5:30 Sydney if it Chelsea if it happens. But
yeah.
Also, you can also just sleep to your normal time, wake up at 7, and just catch the second half.
Not a soccer. It's not 2 hours after start for the second half. It's
2 hours wrapped up.
It's like 1. Yeah. So yeah, 6:30.
Yeah. Too early, man. Too early. I'm not ready. But I do like the idea of college football at 10 a.m. a lot. Huge fan there. I think that's it. You guys have anything else you want to go over? Oh, I'm sorry. Andy is parlaying Chiefs plus 10 with San Francisco just laying 1 point here. You can get both at a book. You are going to have to find the book, but both of those opportunities are still there.
So I bet that actually before Andy played it. I really like that. I just really
It's not a parlay. That's a
tease.
Yeah, teaser. 6-point teaser. Chiefs from +4 up to +10. Niners from -7 down to -1.
Yeah. I don't really have a play on any of these.
He's got to do that between two separate books because everything that has +4 has 7.5. But
yeah,
has it moved to 7.5? Because it was at 7 earlier when I bet it.
I saw it.
The books that have 7 have 3.5 in the other game. From what
you could honestly. So I know it's not smart technically teaser wise, but you could tease this the other way too and probably be good. Tease Baltimore to +2.5. Oh no, you'd be able to get +2 now, right?
+2.5. There's 3.5s out there.
Yeah. And then so that's not as great. If you get them at +3, that's better. And then the Lions to what, +13?
+13, yeah.
Or whatever it is. So I don't hate those. It feels like they're just like a hook away from being on the number you want, though. So
that's how you get got. That's how you get got.
It's almost like they know.
Yeah.
I am curious, Al. Tell me your predictions. Gun to your head. What happens in the Lions 49ers game? What do you think's going to happen? Not your like emotions.
I think the Niners are going to get out to an early lead that is really big, and a lot of people are going to turn the game off. And the Lions are going to get back to make it a respectable score, but not really have a shot. So probably something like 24-3 at halftime, and then 38-30 final or something like that.
Yeah.
In this game, I like a game with very few punts. So, but long drives that end in either field goals, turnovers, or touchdowns. So, I think that like in the first half, you'll get maybe like eight possessions total, not on each team, like 4 possessions each, and it just depends on who converts those touchdowns versus field goals.
I
So-
could see this game being really touchy, actually. I kind of think it's going to go the other way. I could see a lot of punts because they're both trying to feel each other out and not fuck up. I think San Francisco may be protective of Brock Purdy early. In Detroit knows San Francisco's defense can be great, right? So they're going to be very cautious, try to run the ball a couple times. You'll see that get stopped, and they're going to be in third down, weird situations. I think it may open up as the game goes on, though.
Yeah, I mean, both these offenses and defenses are good on third down, so that could end up, going depends,
Yeah, third down for going to be like what decides the game.
Yeah,
which I mean, it often is, but I think it's
not in Dolphins games. If we don't get a first down on second down, we're not getting a first down.
That's how it works.
Things I want to put on record here, because you got me thinking of them. One, Dan Campbell is so much better as a game manager than Kyle Shanahan. It's like insane. So if this is a close game, I think the Lions can win it. Based solely on strategy, fourth down decision making, when to go for it, when not to, when to settle for three, when to go for the touchdown, things of that nature. Kyle Shanahan is actually extremely conservative and very dumb in these situations.
It's a hot take.
I wouldn't call Shanahan dumb in these situations, but he doesn't go for it on fourth and 4 or 4th and 5 in situations where he should. He'll punt it away. He'll always go for it on the 4th and 2 in those situations rather than try and pin them deep. But he doesn't necessarily go for it at the longer yardage situations. The other thing about Kyle Shanahan is he doesn't always have all those timeouts at the end of the game.
That I've seen a lot. He messes that up a lot.
Yeah.
And you always want your timeouts. You want to use your timeouts on defense if preferable.
Let's be clear though. He's not winning the Crystal Ball Award.
No, he's really good.
So I think is very attuned at knowing if he thinks his team can hang with the opponent. And in a game like this, where I think he might see that the Lions need help to be able to win this game, I don't think he'll be afraid to call, whether it's trick plays or going for it on his own end, being more aggressive in terms of decision making to give the Lions a better chance to win. That can obviously go both ways. You can fail in those situations and then you dig yourself into a hole. But I think that's something that can be a real impact on this game. And then I forget what the other thing. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is the Lions corners. So everyone bashes on them because they've given up 200 yards a game the last 5 weeks to teams' number one receivers. But many of those passes have been super close. The DB gets a hand on it and the guy still catches it, or they're just a split second off. So
yeah, but also the wide receiver will just drop the ball too. So it could have been way more.
Yeah,
Mike Evans had a game.
My point is that
he had a game, and he didn't have a game.
That if you're this close to breaking up a pass on Justin Jefferson and Mike Evans and CeeDee Lamb, that if Brandon Ayuk is a team's best receiver, maybe these corners get their hands on these balls.
I mean, Deebo Samuel's their best receiver, but he just doesn't lead.
He does everything.
Receiving. He's their best offensive weapon, I should say.
Yeah,
I feel like we didn't do.
McCaffrey's their best offensive weapon.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry.
I feel like we didn't do justice to the other game. Do you guys want to tell? We'll do this really quickly and we'll end this. As far as Chiefs Ravens, what are you guys expecting from that game? I mean, we've given really good analysis on the other game, so I don't want to leave anyone behind.
I expect Lamar to play really well and then likely get banged up somewhere throughout the course of the game because the Chiefs defense will hit the shit out of you right now. They are really tough, especially in the middle of that defensive line. Is it Chris Jones, yeah. He's nasty. I expect something like that to happen. And if he gets banged up a little bit, one thing that's the only weakness in Lamar's game is playing injured. So if he does get a little nicked, he'll get rattled. And if he doesn't think he can run faster than everybody on the field, he's not as good of a thrower.
I think it's too convenient to say that Lamar is going to do the same thing he always does and fail to show up for the big game. That the Chiefs are going to do the same thing they always do, even though they're going on the road. They're going to go in, and Mahomes is 9-0-1 or whatever as an underdog. I think all of that's too convenient. I think the Ravens blow out the Chiefs.
I also think this could be very touchy, a lot of punts early. I know I said that in the other one. I see this being a lot of punts. There's an under 22 in the first half that I'm tempted to play because I think it's going to be really, really tight early because both defenses have been playing great. Spagnuolo has the Chiefs playing great, and the Ravens are the best defense in the NFL. Like, hands down, bar none, and every.
Well, hold on. The best defense in the NFL is the Browns at home, and then the Ravens. But the Browns on the road was pure ass.
Ass. The Brown ass.
So one thing to watch live in this game, the Ravens are exceptional at getting out to early leads. Many of their games this year, they get out to 2-score leads, and then they're just able to hold it the whole game. They're able to dictate the pace of the game. Make other teams one-dimensional, and that really makes it hard for other teams to get back in it. So I would say if the Chiefs are keeping this game close early, you should definitely live bet Chiefs money line. If the Ravens are doing their normal thing and getting out to actually, really, there's going to be many opportunities to live bet the Chiefs here, whether it's money line or spread. Because if the Ravens do get out to a 2-score lead, you will probably want to take Chiefs plus, I don't know what it'll be,
17 or 20,
10 or 12 or something. And if they don't, then you'll take Chiefs money line, and you'll still get good plus money on it. So that's what I would do. That's probably my favorite play, actually, is to live bet Chiefs money line or spread, depending on the situation.
I mean, the Ravens don't always hold those huge leads. If you remember the one against the Dolphins last year.
Actually, I think you've been to the contrary. The last few games, the Ravens have played close, and then they kicked the shit out of people in the second half.
At the end, yeah.
If you think the Texans game, they were tied at halftime. And granted, that was a special teams touchdown. That wasn't like CJ Stroud, as great as he was, that was a eye-opening performance for him. The Dolphins game was another good example. They keep it close, and then they absolutely suffocate you in the second half. So with that being said, if the game's close, if you want to get exotic and live, it may be worthwhile hitting the Ravens on that environment. We've given you a lot of ways here. You can try to bet this game if it's live.
It's interesting you brought up special teams because that's probably where the Ravens have the biggest advantage in this game is special teams.
Yeah. Justin Tucker he's the coolest guy. He's invited to the barbecue, as they say.
Not just that, their punt return unit's good. Their kick return unit's good.
They're fucking good. They're just good. They're a good fucking team this year. And for all those dum-dums that were saying they shouldn't keep Lamar Jackson, he's not worth the money. That was a mistake. I hope you guys all are eating your crow now. Don't eat Raven, eat crow.
On that note.
Anything, yeah. Hey guys, thank you for listening. It's been an hour and 2 minutes.
Do you want to pick a chuggy bet?
Sure. Pick a chuggy bet.
Ayuk to score.
Ayuk to score. Dano, you're gonna go 2 units here?
Yeah, I'm going 2 units. I guess that's my chuggy bet then because I already made it my most important bet. Chiefs.
I only got 1 bet, so I'll do the parlay of Josh Reynolds over 2.5 receptions and a Christian McCaffrey touchdown. And then Andy is going to tease Chiefs plus 10, San Francisco -1. And that'll be how we do the chuggy bets.
Andy, Chiefs plus 4.
No, it's plus 165. I'm doing the money line. I'm sticking with it.
Oh, okay. 2 units on the plus money line.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, boys. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Please rate, subscribe, do all that stuff, ring the bell. We appreciate it. We make this content for you few people who listen. And let's make some money this week.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good night. Good night, Joe.
Good night, Ken.
Good night. Stu, Lee, Matt.
Oh, here I go again, not being able to hit the button. There you go. Oh, shit. Wait a second.